just gonna be me reading through the compendium and just hopefully I can last. There's like 22 pages of what, 10 each? 220 entries? Damn. Alright, well, here we go. Tama, Land and Ren's trusted navigator. She's not a bunny rabbit in case there's any confusion there. She's obviously a fox. Claims to smell like rainbows. As it turns out, there's no way to prove her wrong. What? You could just smell her. Okay. Tamamo Hime. Tama's tongue twister of a transfiguration. Pronounced Tamamoe Hime. Yeah, that's what it is. Well, I'm also kind of a weeb. She's looking divine to be sure, but how to put this? The chest hair does not come as a surprise. Yurugu. A fox-like mirage that, for whatever reason, attacks with foxfire. The celebrated artist Gildenbrandt once foolishly attempted to use a Yurugu as a paintbrush, but needless to say, he found the experience to be completely unpalatable. QB. A nine-tailed terror known as the Black Fox. Technically, it has one tail and eight butt swords, but let's not nitpick. It's also the Narados. Choco Chick. A little chocobo that loves to waddle around. These feathery friends love to headbutt things. This is fine, because the chocobo's eggshell never cracks twice. Chocobo. One of the many birds valued throughout Grimoire as a mode of transport. Flightless, but fleet on their feet. The males are called chocobros. By no one, if there's any justice in this world. Mecha Chocobo. Cogna. A chocobo made entirely of what appears to be machinery. This was the producer's idea and the artist approved, which means it's canon right down to the cannons. That's like a Mog face on its chest, though. Is like a Mog piloting it? Huh. Black Choco Chick. A Choco Chick born with black feathers. Even their bones are black, just like a certain rare breed of chicken. For whatever reason, just their eyes are red. Allergies, perhaps? Hyperion. A black chocobo with a vicious personality. He can run faster than most other chocobos. Apparently, this particular specimen gained fame in a place called the Gold Saucer. Yeah, it's from FF7. White Chocobo. A rare white chocobo. Sadly, you won't get a fat chocobo by transfiguring this guy. We had to save something for next time. Oh, so sequel confirmed? Fat chocobo? Sylph. A tiny wind pixie that makes its home in forests and other places of natural beauty. The Sylphs are good friends of Seraphi. In fact, she sometimes meets up with them to play cards and gossip. So be sure to treat them with the same balanced affection Seraphi expects you to feel for her. Siren. A mirage who wields wind and provides support to allies. All that hear this siren's song are driven wild. She is usually seen flashing red and blue while chasing criminals. Wait, wrong siren. Wow. There's a police siren joke in here? Seraphi, a laid-back wind pixie who has been buddy-buddy with Anna Cross for who knows how long. She has a very unique interpretation of the phrase trying hard. One of her greatest pleasures in life is playing tricks on poor Tama. Diva Seraphi. After years, if not eons, of eyeing all those other transfigurers with considerable envy, Seraphi has finally managed to move up in the world. She insisted on the diva styling, but maybe that wasn't such a good idea, because now Tama has taken to call her Dweeba Seraphi instead. Moo. A cute little forest animal, or at least that's what it wants you to think. Then pow! A tail punch to the jaw. This mirage has nothing to do with the legendary continent. May or may not squeak moo when upset. That's a FF5 reference. The continent of Moo. Skull Eater. A Moo relative that's constantly munching on a skull. Cute, but don't let that fool you or you'll be next. Technically, it just nibbles skulls and doesn't actually eat them. But sadly, Nibbler was already taken. Carbuncle. That floating ruby is actually part of the carbuncle's body and used to unleash a variety of attacks. This cutie dreams of being a truck bunkle or a train bunkle one day, but never something so dreadfully ordinary as a plane bunkle. Get it? Plane. It's funny. Okay, I'm pretty sure they added these jokes in on the English translation. Reaver Moo. A moo originally found in a place called the River Bell. So why is it called a Reaver Moo? Well, kids, that's because it was mistranslated in that other game. However, the idea of a cute, fluffy river mirage plundering Grimoire was so charming that we decided, what the hey, and that's how mistakes live forever. Nut Eater. A relative of the moo that continually munches on skull-shaped nuts. Can heal itself with a nutty bite. Wait, what's this? It's the one that carved the nut into a skull? Dude. Goblin. A mirage that travels in numbers. Has a nasty set of gnashers, but rarely attacks by biting. After all, goblin punching is way, way more satisfying. Goblin Guard. A more powerful goblin equipped with sword and shield. The leader of the pack, so to speak. Not to be confused with the Goblin Gourd, which doesn't actually exist. The Princess of the Goblins. Also, Princess of getting the wrong idea. Her helmet's horns moves when she gets worked up. No one has stuck around long enough to figure out why. She looks like a wand, too. Redcap. You can't accuse these scamps of hitting below the belt, because they go for your eyes instead. Untrue fact. They turn their helmets red by sheer willpower. Red Captain. A goblin commander capable of buffing all allies. That's why their armor is so shiny. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. That's not what buff means here. Or is it? Some of these are, Mandragora. Mandragoras live all over the world. These little guys may look cute, but don't touch. They're poisonous. While no one's ever sighted one in the process of growing, you can never be too safe. So if you see two floppy leaves sticking up, be smart and don't yank them. Malboro. Covered with flailing tentacles, this malignant monstrosity really needs some mouthwash. The fumes it exudes from its mouth creates all sorts of maladies. Just how bad is this bad breath? Corrigan. A dark-hued mirage that uses plant-like attacks. Corrigans are absolutely incorrigible to the, core. They're the real reason you shouldn't garden after the sun goes down. Malboro Menace. The absolute worst smell you will ever face. Its putrid breath causes complete systematic meltdowns. If you worked hard at it, you might be able to smell this bad too. But please don't try. Copper Gnome. Composed almost entirely of copper, this metal with the metal takes pride in his tough hide. It is incredibly satisfying to face one of these and shout, "Yeah, see? You'll never take me alive, copper." If you got that reference, then congratulations, you are old. I am old. For people who are wondering, it's a reference to old mob movies. And for some weird reason, people think the penguin sounds like that too. Mithril Giant. A towering mirage made of a rare metal, capable of taking a beating and strong as well. Mithril is harder than steel, so fist bumping is not recommended. Iron Giant. Wait, that makes no sense. Why is iron stronger than mithril? With his mighty blade and mighty guard skill, this mirage is one dangerous customer. You might think the mithril giant should be stronger. Yep, since mithril is both harder and rarer. Well, not this time. Lead Gnome. A metallic mirage with a toxic touch and a body slam ability that takes full advantage of its hardened body. You may think this gnome is the leader. Sadly, you've been led astray. Chrome Giant. A mirage with a menacing mace that delivers punishing blows. Takes less damage when unstacked. The burning question is it chrome plated or chrome all the way through? A mini golem. A mirage that looks like someone stapled a set of arms and legs to a head. Likes charging its enemies while singing "Go Go Golem Body Slam." Oh, is that a Pokemon reference? Or it could be a reference to the theme song of one of the old Sentai TV cartoons, because they had a theme song that sounded like this. Water Golem. An itty-bitty golem variant with a surprisingly high threshold for physical pain. Hit it with magic, however. Has a passion for bathyspheres ecology? I think that means study of skin and seafood. Or scales. No. It is like scales, I think the prefix means. Golem Head. A mini golem imbued with wind magic and the power to make any time nap time. Sorry, what was that? Why call it a golem head when it has a body? Hey, don't sweat the small stuff, okay? Floating Eye. A winged eyeball that slings magic. Pro tip for keeping yourself awake at night. Try to visualize his heart and brain splurshing around in there. Aramin. A floating eyeball with a terrifyingly toothy grin. Imagine waking up to see this thing hovering over you. Then again, stare at it long enough, it's actually kind of cute. Blood Eye. A burning blood-red eye that slings around fire magic. Kinda looks like a flying tomato. Rumor has its tears are the secret ingredient Grimoire's best watering holes. Boer. Bet you didn't think it was possible to make a floating eyeball any creepier. Well, behold, the Boer. Just saying his name is scary. Brr. By the by, its eye is actually a keyhole. Find the right key and nothing will happen. Actually, no, that line makes no sense. Frit. It's just called Frit. A tyke with a flair for flames. His horns give frequent compliments. Wears a warm scarf despite basically being on fire. Afrit. A frit in the throes of adolescence. You can tell from the attitude and the fact that he desperately, desperately needs a haircut. Let's just hope someone raises him right and teaches him the difference between af right and af wrong. Oh god, that's a terrible pun. Ifrit. A mirage whose powerful flames eradicate all foes. Famous among even the laziest of the FF faithful, since he usually shows up early in the story. It's true, he's usually the first or second summon you get. Ifrita. An exceptionally rare female Ifrit who's gunning for a spot in the regular FF lineup. She's tough enough to do it. No wonder Ifrit doesn't like her. Weegly. A small mirage resembling a Frit. This rare variant keeps a low profile. Attempts to befriend it by singing pop songs will not work. Coordinated dance numbers have also, unfortunately, proved futile. Gleed. A grown-up Weegly. Years of bracelet lifting have made him bigger, stronger, snarlier. Oh, and don't worry, he's wearing pants. Nature's pants. Gleefrit. A grand Glee. It looks like an Ifrit, but nope, different beast altogether. The bracelets are part of his body and contain age-long reserves of magic. Bubbliz. An adorable ice pixie with a knack for ice magic and a fondness for colder climes. Has no button nose, and those eyes of hers definitely aren't made of coal. Mishiva. A Bubbliz that's grown into a chilly little ice princess. Her magic arsenal has expanded to more than just ice attacks, but her vocabulary still needs some work. Shiva. A mirage known for putting her adversaries on ice. Ask her to make you a slushie? She's surprisingly cool about that kind of stuff. Ah, the new one. Chivalry. A rare male Shiva. Drives his female counterpart up the wall with lengthy superhero monologues. Cannot be defeated with space rocks or the color yellow. Okay, that's a Green Lantern reference? I guess the space rocks is a Superman parody? Well, I guess superheroes are the closest thing we have to Super Sentai here. Bubbliz. Some mirages like this one possess unique traits that set them apart from others in their tribes. But despite the burr in her name, she's not actually colder than a Bubbliz. Shivarina. A Bubbliz that has evolved into what looks like a little girl. Despite years of training, she still hasn't figured out how to use her cape as a secondary pair of legs. Is that a reference to something? Shiver. A fully grown mirage as powerful as Shiva herself. Some folks might glance at the Dark Queen getup and assume she needs a hug or something. Do not hug her. Zapped. A wired tyke who's still learning to absorb magic. To absorb lightning. His magic set remains limited. Don't confuse him with a certain colored mirage. They're two different things. What is this? Colored mage. Oh, it's Vivi they're talking about. Zephyr, a mirage that resembles a little boy. He's gotten the hang of summoning lightning with a snap of his fingers, and looks good doing it. But you might not want to shake his hand. Ramu, a mirage whose judgment bolt reduces everything to ash. His mortal enemy, therefore, must be a pile of ash, because, well, what can he do to it? Huh, that's true. Ramu's granddaughter, and truly eloquent speaker. Her hair spikes up when electrified, saving her hours of primping in front of the bathroom mirror every morning. Jolt. A mage-like mirage with red eyes. Still not particularly adept at the whole zapping thing. Maybe he's snapping his fingers wrong. If he has fingers. Does he even have arms? I guess he could, under those robes. Volter. An evolved jolt that can wield darkness as well as electricity. Basically, he's a one-man light show. Of course, he gets invited to all the parties. Ramu? Okay, that's what it is. It's just Ramu with a Rai in front of it. A being with powers akin to a Ramu's. When he wants to shock you, he really shocks you. President of the Burn My Hair Off Club for Men. That joke is just nonsensical. Okay. White Knack. A wolf-like mirage with sharp fangs and thick fur to protect against the cold. You could say it has a knack for hunting. But please don't say that. Fenrir, a mirage that inhabits colder regions and uses swift attacks and its ice storm ability to corner prey. Wheels and sword compartment not included with this model. I guess it's just an action figure reference in general? Cerberus, a huge mirage that attacks with 3 elements from its 3 heads, 2 of which, strangely, don't seem to be attached. A certain Mr. Valentine packs a gun named after his mirage, but neither he nor his weapons seem to be around. Ah, Vincent reference, nice. Do wish he was in the game, but I guess he's not main character enough for that. Black Knack, a knack with high resistance to fire. Even his teeth are like hot coals. You could probably grill a hamburger in there if you can just get it to keep its mouth open. Ella Fenrir, another type of Fenrir. He seems to have some sort of history with Ico's tribe. It's a common mistake to mix his name up with that of El Fenrir, the famous invisible Cornelian luchador. Baby Behemoth. Don't rockabye this baby, or you'll be sorry when it counters. Those horns are plenty sharp. You probably have some theories about what this will turn into when it grows up. Those theories are quite correct. Well, Behemoth is a FF mainstay. Behemoth, a hulking beast with large, powerful horns. Also a heavy mouth breather. But even heavier than that is its fearsome heavy counter, which is enough to make even the spooniest bard sorry he swung his lute. That's an Edward reference from FF5? Behe Monster. This is a new creation, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure this creature ever existed before. This legendary brute comes complete with twice the ferocity and thrice the anger management issue of its relatively calmer kin. Walks on 2 legs to show off its ripped abs. Kuza Kit, a beast wreathed in lightning. It specializes in thunder attacks and packs a mean magical counter. The more one stares at it, though, the more has to wonder, what exactly is it chewing? Kuza Beast, a formidable foe with large horns that positively crackle with electricity. Thanks to this, it's never had a good hair day. Watch out for its powerful strikes and magical counterattack. Moogle, everyone's favorite fuzzball with the funny way of talking, Kupo. Attacks and heals using equally funny dances. Apparently they're willing to take just about any job if it means they get a role in the story. That's low, and probably true. You do dress up as a Moogle in like FF6 or 5, I don't remember. No, it was 5, it was in the Moogle Forest. Kupirit, marine Moogles with a penchant for piracy. They spend their weekends relaxing at the beach. Through the wonders of Grimoria magic, also known as budget limitations, they all share the same voice. Kupi Karan? An expert at water attacks, these Moogles roll with a different crowd than Ferris's crew, but that story, we'll have to wait for another day. Watch out for their Kupar attack, which causes Berserk. Glow Moogle, a sparkling star of the Moogle world, whose pom-pom halo glows like the sun. Also functions as a nightlight in a pinch, and looks like a planet, if you cover the bottom half with your hand. Death Skull, an undead mirage that can unleash an entire spellbook's worth of magical attacks. Don't mistake it for a trick-or-treater. Undead Princess, everyone's favorite undead princess. Seems to maybe sort of have a history with Charlotta? She's a princess, shouldn't she have a kingdom? But let's not go there, it's a dead end. Mord Skull, a mirage that excels in earth magic, but don't forget that Scythe leaves a nasty mark too. Try not to run into this camp in a dark alley. Also, that's not a mask, it just looks like that. Chewing must be a challenge. Yeah, does it have a lower jaw? I guess not. Metallic Skull, an undead skull head with a knack for lightning attacks and shock encounters. This is what happens when you try to design a skeleton that's not made of bone. It's kind of like a burger without the patty, except this thing doesn't appear to even have buns. Let me take a look. Right Claw, a mirage that loves slicing and dicing, dangerous when paired with the left claw. Incesta is left-handed, but it's right. Wait, this is an enemy from FF5 also, I think. There was a boss called Deathclaw. Left Claw, a mirage that loves slicing and dicing. Oh, it's the same thing, but it's it's just the same. Cockatrice, a bird with poisonous beak that sometimes instant KOs its prey. It doesn't have the flutter ability, which may be attributed to the fact that its wings are eyebrows. The least you can do is keep those bad boys better trimmed. Turns into Valafor. Yuna's faithful friend and companion, so to speak. She soars through the air, wild and free. Raise your hand if you're feeling a wave of nostalgia right now. Hey, speaking of nostalgia, did you know Final Fantasy X has been remastered in high def? Yo, we hiding shameless self-promotion in here? Cocadrill. A bird that uses its stout beak to vent its frustrations. It pecks when it's peckish, and it pecks when it's not. Sadly, it can't fly, but that doesn't stop it from dreaming. Attempts to use it to bore holes in wood have led to numerous accidents across Grimoire. Nervalifor. Whoosh! Goes a flaming streak across the sky. It's a bird. It's a dragon. No, it's a Nervalifor. Fast as these mirages are, they still can't outrun the burning sensation that they're late. Dual Lizard. One body, twice the lizard. Rat battles itself regularly, but always loses. That's because it spits so much poison on the mic it melts. That's kind of... Tri-hide. Buy now and get an extra head for free. Just kidding, 3's all you get. Try braiding its head while it sleeps. If it doesn't destroy you with attack magic, that means you did a good job. Tiamat. A gigantic dragon with 1, 2, a lot of heads. Do those yappers in the back count? Oh yeah, I just noticed. It's got like heads behind on its back too. Each head has a different element and personality. It makes deciding where to go for dinner a huge pain. Don't confuse this Tiamat with the Fiend of Wind. That one has even more heads. FF1 reference. Bihydra. Why don't you just call it a Bihydra? Resistant to fire. Both of its maws are practically dripping with venom. Tends to get into heated arguments with itself that quickly escalate into fire exchanges. Despite being a Bihydra, it doesn't do so well with hydration. Ghidra. A dragon-like mirage with 3 heads, each which spit a different type of flame. Its name is not, in fact, short for Greg the huge, industrially designed roasting apparatus, but you can call it Greg if you want. Huh. Cactuar. A mirage with a truly astounding ability to evade attacks. Its jerky movements may lead you to think that its animators are lazy, or that your frame rate has taken a sudden dive, but we can assure you there's nothing wrong with us or your hardware. Thank you. Gigantor. A huge cactuar with a dignified mustache. Looks great in a top hat and a monocle. Visualize the cactus on your desk growing this big. Okay, now visualize it with a mustache. Now smile. Cactrot. A cactuar relative that's quick to make a run for it. Chances are it will zip away before you imprison it. Oh, and never fear, it's not rotting, it's trotting at a high speed. Gigantrot. What's the difference though? The animations look the same. A stylish cactuar with an even more stylish stash. Its needles are razor sharp. Everyone knows the plural of cactus is cacti. But what's the plural of gigantrot? Gigantroti? Sounds a bit like a secret organization, doesn't it? Magic pot. Rumor has it that something nice will happen if you give this potted pal an elixir. Keep your ears open. Also, are those tongues or paws sticking out of there? How deeply unsettling. Mimic. A mirage disguised as a treasure chest to surprise unwary treasure hunters. There's no escaping one in battle. The poor thing has developed serious identity issues, but hey, that's the job. Also, let's make it official. This Mimic has no relation to that other famous Mimic in our game lineup. So I can't decide if they're referring to Go-Go, or they're talking about the Dragon Quest Mimic. Mimic Queen. This opulent Mimic Miss has covered with expensive-looking gems. If there's a Mimic Queen, where's the Mimic King? Hey, that's what she wants to know. Magic Jar. This crazy crockery excels at support, but its attacks leave something to be desired. Untrue fact, the creators agonized for years over what to call the Magic Pot's successor. The Magic Casserole dish, the Magic Dutch oven. Ultimately, Jar turned out to be the least jarring. Mimic Jackpot. This mimic relative gleams and glitters in the light. Its pigtails are actually extendable drills. Considering its faux chest bits are made of solid gold, you could probably cash it for more than whatever else you thought was inside. But mimics have feelings. They aren't yours to sell. Mimic Civil Liberties Union. Quancho. A penguin-like mirage. Specializes in water magic and counterattacks. Oh, and if you've been wondering, it's named after its cry, not crying its name. Quancho Queen. A ruler who aspires to greatness, but falls apart in the presence of human males. There is no Quancho King. She's a bit arrogant, and rarely addresses people in the second person, but try not to hold it against her. It's kind of weird how you go from a penguin to a girl. Japan is weird. Quanchocho. No, Quanchacho. An inhabitant of colder areas that can target an area and put enemies inside it to sleep. And once they are, the true quenching begins. Has a secret Quacho cry, not audible to human ears. Now we get to the Tonberries. Baby Tonberry. Baby or not, this Tonberry has it out for you. Watch out for that petty grudge. Listen, kids, we don't know where you got that, but put it down. Knives aren't toys. Tonberry. A mirage that wields a lantern in one hand and a knife in the other. Seriously dangerous if you let him shuffle too close. So consider this your official warning. Fun fact, the lantern is only there so you can see them. Tonberry King. A Tonberry King's knife is brutal, and with his everyone's grudge ability, he can exact revenge for fallen friends. Despite that toasty warm outfit, he hates the heat. Still, he knows how to green and bear it. Baby Paleberry. A wielder of light and ice magic, these guys have the same petty grudge as their cousins. They're not berries covered in yogurt, although it's admittedly hard to unsee once that's in your head. Paleberry, a white blight that wields fearsome light magic and an even fearsomer knife. Rumor has it under his robes is a t-shirt that reads, "I'm not pale, I'm pigmentally challenged." Paleberry King. A king among paleberries, he brings to battle formidable light magic and special abilities. No, the crown isn't silver, it's platinum. The berry economy must be doing well. Oh, there's even more bear? Red Bonnet Berry. Ho ho ho, have you been naughty or nice? Because this jolly little Tonberry relative has a lot more to dish out than just coal. Good thing it's somewhat resistant to fire, especially if it's planning on jumping down any chimneys. It's almost Christmas, I guess that's topical. Werebat. A mirage that flaps around a set of tiny little wings. Attempts to suck blood when it runs low on health, but hey, haven't we all been there? Swing this bat all you want, you won't get a home run. Vampire. A mirage with sharp fangs that don't just suck blood, they drip venom too. One great reason to never get bitten by a vampire is because you'll end up looking like this. Fakes a heavy Transylvanian accent. Also sparkles when no one else is looking. Wow, we even got the Twilight reference in there. Wonderful. Vampire Prime. The bite's biter's biter. In other words, the Nosferatu who first nibbled on a non-Feratu. Legend has it he's immortal, invincible, invulnerable, incorrigible, indigestible. A whole lot of ins. He's not the first vampire ever. We know that distinction is taken. But he's still bad news. That cape is cool. Ice Bat. A mirage that lives in cold climates. Wield ice magic in addition to his vampiric powers. Did you notice the bat-shaped patch there on its face? It's a bat within a bat. Batception. Don't attempt a home run with this bat or you might just shatter it. Demi-Vampire. An icy vampire lord. Has the ability to absorb life from those foolish enough to attack it. So wait, demi means half, right? Which half is a vampire? Shh, it's secret. Mini-Flan. A wobbly little pudding creature with a high capacity for physical pain. Cover its face with a napkin, toss a little caramel on it, and you have yourself an appetizing treat. The actual flavor, however... Flan. Highly resistant to physical damage, so magic is your best bet. What flavor is a turquoise flan anyway? This thing looks like it's packed with artificial pigments and preservatives. Flan Princess. Her royal flaunliness. She loves to dance, but her moves are more jiggle than wiggle. All the same, they can put you in hot water if you let yourself be captivated. By the way, how do you like her new makeover? Here we go. Sharkwell. An aquatic mirage with a short temper that regularly attacks swimmers. Plans to one day star in its own movie, Chomper 2, The Sharkwell. There is no part 1. Mega Sharkwell. A souped up Sharkwell that excels at critical attacks. Its massive fangs and frame are the stuff of nightmares. Watch out for its megabites? Bismarck. A colossal and yet colossally hard to find white mirage. But Bismarck is supposed to be a whale, you may be thinking as you run to the nearest wiki. Well, friend, we made some adjustments. Night Squall. A Sharkwell in jungle camo. Watch out for those sneak attacks. Wait, hold on a second. How does jungle camouflage even work outside the jungle? Talk about a fish out of water. Mega Nyquil. A Nyquil grown to mega proportions. One might wonder why he bother with camouflage when he's that big, but hey, fashion doesn't have to make sense. Sea Snake. An Ophidian mirage found along Grimoire's shores. Attacks with both water and its flippers. Sea snakes aren't exactly made for terra firma, but they manage to be mobile on land through sheer force of will. Now we get to the big guys. Even mountains, Leviathan. Even mountains bow before this Mirage's mighty tidal wave. Bahamut frequently steals her spotlight these days. Maybe she just needs to get out of that water more. Yeah, Leviathan was a big deal in FF5. I think he was the one on the moon. Sea Serpent, a sea dragon that excels at water attacks and commands a powerful tsunami ability. It even knows how to swim on land. Try doing that in your backyard. Elasmos, Sildra's Mirage kin. Watch out when they attack all of her foes at once with Thunderstorm. Apparently these monstrosities pick up various pet names depending on where they're sighted, but none of those monikers should be considered locked as official. Loch Ness Monster reference. Mini Mantoise, a mirage that uses its hard shell to protect companions from attack. But flip these Sheldons over and they will shed soft turtle tears. They're quite young, so maybe Mini Boy Toys would have been more appropriate. Or maybe not. Adamantoise. Any mini mantoises that live long enough can grow this big. As you might expect, weak attacks will simply bounce off an Adamantoise's incredibly hard shell. It's said they dream of learning how to fly, but pigs have a better chance. Flame Mantoise. A mini Mantoise variant that uses fire attacks. Its Basque ability allows it to heal during combat. It claims it can breathe fire underwater, but chances are it's just selling smoke. Spark Dragon. A dragon with a storm cloud for legs. Naturally uses thunder abilities. Wait, if you stack with it, does that mean you get to ride a dragon? Nope, they ride you. Red Dragon. A type of dragon found all throughout the Dragon Scars. It may look slim, but that's all muscle. In addition to its physical prowess, its fire is hot enough to melt anything. Of course, you have to wonder, were there legs hiding in the dragon's cloud all along? Yeah, it does have legs. Mist Dragon. A dragon with a body that's half mist. So cute. Look at that face. Who couldn't love that face? Radius familiar here on Grimoire as a Mist Dragon, and a gentle soul at that. Holy Dragon. An enormous regal mirage that is, of course, Holy Dragon. It has been sighted deep in Icicle Ridge. This creature is able to cast a classic and powerful spell. Hint, it's all in the name. Bombino. A mirage most frequently found in desert areas. Don't worry, Junior here won't self-destruct. Did you know that Bombino means small bomb in actual Italian? Bomb, a classic FF baddie prone to using self-destruct, and neither friend nor foe is safe when it does. Watch out. Perhaps many of you have painful memories of this mirage for one reason or another. Yeah, they were kind of a pain in the ass. King Bomb. Big and strong enough to earn the moniker King. All his friends say he's a blast. Uses explode when defeated, which happens to be really bad news, so make sure you're prepared. Rumor has it, this guy has a distant cousin called a Mom Bomb. Sadly, she's sitting the story out in all but name. Phoenix. A legendary firebird with miraculous regenerative powers. As you may have noticed, these Mirage's down feathers and pinions are used to create precious items. Nothing like a little phoenix down to help you phoenix up, said no one ever, but they should. Water Toad. Ribbit, ribbit, this croner sings from the swamp, then blam, you got a status ailment. Wait a minute, a water toad. Doesn't that just make it a frog? Lucky Toad. Anyone lucky enough to chance upon this toad will be blessed with good fortune. Unless, of course, you hate amphibians, in which case there's nothing fortunate about it at all. Wind Toad. A toad that favors windy places, but you already figured that much out, haven't you? These croak and dagger types like to lullaby its prey to sleep before they strike. Every Sunday they get together for an a cappella practice, followed by burgers and French flies. Manticore. It may look like a cat, but what feline has a poisonous scorpion tail? This one. Now, manticores are usually more lion-like, but this is Grimoire, and here, cats get around. Sphinx, also known as the Guardian of the Desert. This mirage skillfully wields both earth and enhancement magic. Lately, the sphinxes have gotten bored of just riddles, so they've been doing a lot of Sudoku. Sandicore. This is one gritty kitty. It almost looks like it's made of sand. Sandicores can sometimes neutralize physical attacks, so run through your options before you swing. Doesn't require a sandbox, litter box, or any other kind of box. Mimicoleus. Coleus? Mimicoleus. A mirage that slowly turned to sand over time. Not a meme, but possibly meme-worthy. After a Mimicoleus uses his Doom ability and starts a countdown, your turns are numbered. So remember, never ever invite one of these to a New Year's Eve party. Sandworm, a mirage found in deserts. Attacks with chocolate syrup and... Hold on. Sorry. Correction. This is a desert Mirage that uses earth attacks, and that leverage its massive frame. And of course, technically, that means it does still specialize in rocky road. Sea worm, a marine menace that lurks near Grimoire's shores. Some say that it looks as graceful as an angel when it swims, but we prefer to describe it as a nightmare sock puppet with teeth. Oh, also, cancel this thing's gym membership right now. Searcher, a hovering eyeball that patrols its surroundings, looking for suspicious activity. Has been issued and licensed to search, not to kill, but that doesn't stop it from trying. Oh, that's an omega symbol for an eye. I just noticed that. Magitech armor, a mechanized suit of armor crafted by fusing technology and magic into one totally cool chassis. An epic tale begins with 3 of these marching through the snow. FF6. Death Machine, a fearsome engine of destruction equipped with a full complement of deadly weaponry, fortified defenses, and an itchy trigger finger. It's bad news in close quarters and at range. All attempts to redesign it for batting practice, struck out. Security Eye. This floating ball of justice circles the sky, keeping an eye out for any suspicious activity below. After many years of working for public security, it's now aiming to become a private eye. Magitech Armor A. An amalgam of magic and technology. This magical machine has been modded for extra physical firepower and a 4.0 grade point average. War Machine. A Cogna armed to the bolts with a devastating array of powerful weaponry. Not to be confused with the work machine, which is another name for a very loud chocobo. Death Searcher. Sure, it seems pretty harmless as it floats through the air, but the second it spots anything suspicious, it's death. And while it may look drowsy, that droopy eyelid isn't due to a lack of sleep. This menace is always alert and ready to finish you in a blink. Magitech Armor Pink, P. This is one Magitech armor you don't want to see in your rearview mirror. It doesn't so much dispense tickets as launch them at you. What's that moon language on its forehead? Clearly not Grimoire. No, they kept the Japanese in there. Imp. That face just screams I'm up to no good. Some of you might have lingering traumatic memories of a little ability called Confuse 16. The good old days. Back then, the imps really were impudent. Diabolos. Through the power of fantasy, this Mirage can take your mind on truly frightful flights. His greatest shame, the name on his left wing is spelled wrong. Points to you if you already spotted it. Don't worry though, we made sure the artist can never hurt anyone like this again. I can't see it. Garchimacera. This Mirage is just a little monster, the absolute worst guy on the block. No, really. He's the sort that uses a magnifying glass to torture bugs, or status ailment to pick on Mirage keepers. And yeah, we don't know how to pronounce his name either. Brother Tar. A bovine bully who specializes in topple attacks. That clubby swing is a force to be reckoned with. Wandered out of a labyrinth one day and never looked back. Minotaur, a Mirage that uses a giga-sized hammer to clobber its foes. When he charges with Bulldozer, get out of the way, because punching this bull in the gut on the 3rd hop isn't going to send him to the mat. Maybe he's just not bald enough. That's interesting that they can reference Bald Bull from Punch-Out. Sister Tar. This little lady likes to arm wrestle her brothers, and you better believe she holds her own. Has a habit of charging over reflections. Maybe it's self-loathing, or maybe she just sees red. Asterius. Is it a tank? A robot? Nope, it's just a whole lot of bull. Why does a sister tar transfigure into a bull? Hey, don't have a cow just because we don't have a cow. Try not to get skewered on those massive horns when it charges, okay? Gilgamesh. A kooky kabuki with an unnatural obsession with Barts. He's a total oddball, but his skill with a blade should not be underestimated, nor his skill at running away. Somehow he's been waiting a showdown with Barts for longer than either of them has been alive. Unicorn. A most legendary beast with a single horn adoring his forehead, also known as the spear horse. Insane, but if you can get close enough, the horn doubles as a coat rack in an emergency. Odin, a Mirage who hates thunderstorms. His Zantetsu can literally mean sword that sunders iron, but it pretty much sunders everything. Nightmare, a demonic horse that puts you to sleep, then gallops through the dark corners of your dreams. Hooves of flame and eyes wild. If you manage to tame one and saddle up, does that make you a nightmare? Mind Flayer, a wizard with a squid head. No, wait. Is it a squid with a wizard's body? Anyways. A consummate connoisseur. The Mind Flayer only pairs with the finest beverage with the brains it devours. Okay, honestly, that's a pretty terrifying image. Kraken. A massive monster from the deep that emits a poisonous mist to harry its foes. Featured as one of the 4 fiends in the original Final Fantasy, if you spot all 4 together, you can bet your barnacle some kind of chaos is about. It's a pun, because the final boss is called Chaos. Ultros. A tentacle terror that absolutely loves the ladies. The feeling is not mutual. Seriously strong, seriously annoying. For better or worse, for all the right reasons, he's a legend. The passing years only made him more colorful. Where's this partner in crime? Squid Raken. Part squid, part mage, and all style. Evil though it may look, it actually knows a bit of light magic. Not related to any of the ancient gods. Why do people keep saying that? Because he looks like Cthulhu? Senchos. A many-legged octopus squid thingy with a firm grasp of water magic. Yes, we know water isn't firm enough to be grasped. Anyways, nonetheless, this Mirage manages to pull it off because the Senchos never says Canchos. Titan. A Mirage made of rock. Its mighty fist can shatter mountains, which seems kind of self-defeating, but whatever. Sheds a single tear each time it says a sign saying no shirt, no shoes, no service. Yep, this is the only one I had a huge problem getting, and thanks to the guy who traded me his. Maduin, a being with a deep connection to Terra. Expect the fight of your life if you intend to challenge him. Similar though their names may be, Maduin and Madina are actually quite different in the FF universe. Madine. Iron muscles. A Mirage with a body of solid iron. These guys spend most of their free time at the gym, lifting each other. Taking a punch from one of these is like, well, you're not going to escape with just a bruise, that's for sure. Magna Rotor. A 3-wheeled Cogna with a bad case of road rage. A perfectionist when it comes to parallel parking. Somehow, it's got its driver's license on the first try. A 3-wheel Cogna with a bad case of road rage. All the Magna Rotors paint jobs are based on the original models. Give Final Fantasy VI a spin if you're curious. Although there are 3 of these that share the exact same name, don't worry, each of them always knows when to raise his wheels during roll call. Entomb Guard. Cogna has 6 legs and is tough as nails. Its defenses definitely live up to the name. Don't confuse those claws for watermelons, or else even the world's best dentist won't be able to save you. Omega. One of the most terrifying Cogna of all. This tireless engine of destruction won't stop until all has been laid to waste. It was named by the first Grammarian to encounter it. Oh my god, he shouted, and it promptly expired. That's pretty funny, actually. Entomb Soldier. Hunts down and exterminates all who oppose the Cogna's will. Entomb means bug. As we pushed World of Final Fantasy through QA, we were hoping the testers would report this guy and save players hours of misery. But apparently they just don't love you that much. Omega Bane. An Omega variant that was created to annihilate all organic life. It's a shame there's no such thing as an Omega Ban, because you're going to want one after you face this thing. Elite Entomb. Cogna. It's got more than enough power to justify its name, assuming we can call those sleeves. Then it's got a whole slew of area elemental attacks. I'm up. It may be red, but it's not the leader. We like to keep you guessing. Ultima Weapon. A Cogna with godlike power. Functions as something akin to a leader to its Cogna brethren. Unless you want an Ultima whipping, you better not go anywhere near one of these things without a plan. Everyone knows that Ultima is code speak for really honking powerful in the FF universe. Super Ultima Weapon. This thing's power levels are off the charts. Exists only to destroy everything and everyone. Trying to cook up a name that sounds more powerful than Ultima was actually kind of hard. We're still not entirely pleased with the results, but hopefully you'll be too busy getting your keister handed to you to notice or care. Hold up, do I not have one? I have to. Hold on. Oh no, it might be an enemy that you can't capture. Einhander. A combat Cogna with a single highly advanced arm that accepts interchangeable upgrades. It slices, it dices, it blends, it bakes. Is there anything that arm can't do? Answer, dual wield. XG. Oh, so you thought it was a floating head? Wrong. This crossover Cogna actually has 2 modes, flight mode and humanoid mode. Obviously, this isn't the wrong game, but we're not sorry. We even got you-know-who to design it. It's from Xenogears. Omega God. A titanic humanoid Cogna, originally manifested in a world outside of Grimoire. True to his name, is likely to be the last thing you'll ever see. Its abdomen looks like it wants to eat you. Yeah, these are the same, I think. Yeah, same descriptions. Wait. Yeah. Okay, there's no normal Bahamut, so one of the Pleiades 7, self-proclaimed king of pretty much whatever he feels like, has a bit of an anger management problem, so be sure to take a few steps back when his temper mega flares. Master Moogle. Uh, Everyone's favorite fuzzball with a funny way of talking, Kupo, but don't mistake this particular pom-pom parader for your average Moogle. This particular prickler has been cactuaring for 50-odd years and has a zip in his step to prove it. He's still wondering why his duel isn't called a trio. Nope, I think the rest might just be, yeah. Just be a unique show. Giant goblin. A giant goblin, but not a giant goblin. Carries a big sword that thankfully rarely ever hits the mark. Its hobbies include eating, sleeping, sleeping, and well, you get the idea. Sildra. Ferris's best friend and her ship's primary means of motion. Wait, does that make her ship a sea chariot? Oh, and don't worry, there won't be any tearful beach goodbyes in this adventure. Yeah, it was really sad when she died in FF5. Grand Fenrir, a fearsome Fenrir that lives in Icicle Ridge, aka the Alphanac. Sadly, there's no such thing as a great Grand Fenrir yet. Or a Grand Fenrir clock. Also yet. But progress is swift in Grimoire, so you never know. Mega Red Dragon, a ginormous fire dragon. Everyone else has to go through this thing's growing pains. Unleashes a powerful fire ability as it loses HP. One of these babies could probably keep an entire city warm throughout the winter. Golden Flan, a massive gelatinous tower of flan. If left to its own gurgling devices, it will grow and grow and grow. The name may make it sound tasty, but remember, in Grimoire, flan eats you. Oh, we still have the in Soviet Russia Linux, man. Black Mage. While these guys look like your regular flesh and blood black mages, they're a little different. These are artificial soldiers created by, well, that's a story in itself, and not one we're about to spoil here. How do they prove that they exist? Maybe they don't exist. Magitech and technology. This mobile armor powers up when carrying a magically gifted individual. The B stands for black, not beta. Recommended for those who take their Magitech coffee like their Magitech armor like their coffee. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Bahamutian Commander, an officer in the Bahamutian army. Naturally, officers are more powerful than your average soldier. It is not possible for a Lilican to become a giant. So then, what exactly is this? Federation Guard. These elite soldiers in the Bahamutian army command mirages with exquisite tactical skill. Inside that armor lurks not a person, but a cunning monster from another world. And we're good. Oh, I can't believe I actually made it through the whole thing. If you managed to make it through this thing, thanks.